Did you know that fertile soil equal to the size of 30 football fields goes sterile every minute on this planet? We lose that soil by pumping in chemicals to increase more yield. The yield increases, no doubt, but it robs the soil of its nutrition and organic matter. Chemicals that are used to treat soil seep into the food we eat. The long-term effects are disastrous. Punjab is a classic example. It was the state where the Green Revolution unfolded. It was one of the shining gems of Indian agriculture. Today, it is known for its Cancer Express, a train that ferries cancer patients out of the state for treatment. The cancer comes from the chemicals the farmers use indiscriminately in farming. A fourth of the world's farmable land is lost to chemical fertilizers. This is the reason why organic farming is picking up. More and more Indians are today waking up to the risks of artificially grown food. Welcome to Earshot English. You are listening to our show, How to Be an Organic Farmer, where we get experts and agriculturalists to teach you how to be an organic farmer. In this episode, let's know more about fertilizers. How can we cut away the use of chemicals in the growing methods and include organic ways of growing? How bad are chemical pesticides? Vandana Shiva, a known authority on agriculture and conservation, says that chemicals are poison. She minces no words about pesticides in this conversation with Amir Khan during his show Satyamev Jayate.
कि पेस्टिसाइड की एक बीमारी है. आप पेस्टिसाइड की चक्रव्यूह में जब घुस जाओ तो एक स्प्रे करोगे, फिर 4 करोगे, फिर 30 करोगे, फिर 60 करोगे और आपको और करना पड़ेगा क्योंकि जो एक प्रकृति की व्यवस्था है उसको आप बिगाड़ रहे हैं. कीटाणु को रोकने की, उसे आप तोड़ रहे हो और वो अंदर है, खाने के अंदर है, हर सेल के अंदर है. तो आप सोचते हैं अच्छा सेब को आपने पील कर दिया, बहुत अच्छा है. सेब के अंदर है पेस्टिसाइड. एंड दीज आर ऑल इम्पैक्ट्स ऑफ जहर जिसको हमने दवा करके किसान को गुमराह किया है कि बेटा और स्प्रे करो. अच्छी चीज तो ज्यादा होनी चाहिए ना.
दवा है डालो.
दवा है तो तुम जितनी ज्यादा हो लोगे अच्छा करेगा.
There this affliction in farming of pesticides, and once you enter its deadly cycle, you move from one spray and end at 60. And you will have to continue doing it because you have messed with nature's way of dealing with bacteria. The chemical has seeped inside the cell of our foods. We have misled our farmers by telling them that it is good for the soil. As we continue to lose valuable fertile land, we must remember that to produce 10 centimeters of fertile soil on the face of the earth, it takes 2,000 years. Kavya Chandra of the Bangalore-based A Green Venture says that we need to first understand what makes the land fertile to find out what are the organic ways of nourishing it.
Yeah, so fertilizers are definitely required for growing because they keep your soil nourished and they make sure that there are enough of microbes in your soil which lead to plant health. So it's a very simple process. You can add things which are already in your house, which are already in your kitchen. You know, something like sour curd or sour dahi is extremely good as a fertilizing agent for soils. You just have to dilute it with some water and add it. This is something that I think more 80 to 90% of households in India would already have.
Organic methods of fertilizing are not that hard to find, says Kavya. If we look closely, they're already there.
Basically, what we also need to understand is the structure of soil. Mm-hmm. The soil which we have in our garden pots has microbes which are the same microbes that are in our body. Yes. So we have to ensure that these microbes are always there. And how do you do that? You add what is left over from your kitchen.
Crucial to soil's health is composting the soil. Waste from our kitchens are mostly made of organic matter. We just need to find a method of making it into manure.
One of the other things is compost. So composting is another solution which is very important, where you take all your wet waste and make it into a fine powder. And again, there are many solutions available for this online. There are so many vendors out there which teach you about composting. And it's also a great way to reduce your wet waste at home and create an eco-friendly cycle. Okay, so second is compost. And thirdly, this is another very eco-friendly way of saving water and ensuring that your plants get lots of good fertilizer, you can say every 2 weeks or every month. So you can, use things like banana peels and onion peels, which are all very, very rich in nitrogen and potassium. And these can be soaked in water. Yes. And the water can then be used for watering your plants, because they all have extremely rich minerals which come from the fruits and the vegetable. And see, these are things which are already in the house. So whoever wants to even start gardening can do so immediately and use these solutions and see the benefits.
Animal manure too has long been used to fertilize soil. Dr. Rupesh Tyagi of Ekam Farm says that the introduction of organic fertilizers into farming reduces the overall cost, making farming sustainable for modest farmers.
A lot of input costs involved when we generally based on like chemical-based farming, out of urea and other pesticides as well. These are a lot expensive. But if we can switch to organic farming, then we can manufacture or make these type of pesticides by their own, and we can reduce the input cost as much, and of course the quality would be better.
Some of the organic manure that his company Ekam Farms produces are made of neem, turmeric and garlic.
There are a lot of, for example, one is like Kashmani, one is like Neemas and other things. So these are based on like neem and, haldi, lasun and all these type of, there are a lot of different type of, leaves can be used to prepare these type of, organic pesticides or insecticides.
So, that's it from me, your host Sayyam Sharma, signing out with our reporter Amrita Madhukalya till the next episode of our series, How to Be an Organic Farmer. Keep listening to Earshot.in or download the Earshot app now.